Raceworld is Raceworld is coming live to you from Hockenheim. On the table here, Mark Cole, and we have Nico Rosberg and Jamie Green. Welcome, guys. Welcome, Mark.
Yeah, welcome
Germany.
Yeah, good to have everyone with us today. Been a great day in Hockenheim. First day of qualifying for DTM, but more importantly, first of the two final rounds of the Formula 3 Euro Series. And Jamie Green, Nico Rosberg really need no introduction. You've made your name as champion this year. Nico, everyone knows you as Keki's son, but you have parallel careers. Very interesting. You both started car racing 3 years ago, and here you are at this point in your careers. Now, Jamie, you took the title this year. That's pretty impressive in your third year of racing.
Yeah, it's been a good season. My second year of Formula 3. I've had 7 wins, 6 poles. Not so good this weekend, but apart from that, it's been a good season. So, it's good for me, and hopefully I can move forward next year.
Do you feel the pressure's off, like Michael Schumacher obviously did in China? Maybe there's not so much to race for now.
Yeah, but it's not that I've lost interest, because I'd already won the championship at Zandvoort before Brno, and I won both races in Brno. So I think I'm still doing what I can do. But this weekend things haven't gone my way. I think that's just what happens, in racing. And tomorrow hopefully I can come back.
Nico, when we started the season here in Hockenheim, you had a double win, and everyone tipped you for the championship, but it hasn't worked out.
No, yeah, I started the season very well with 2 wins here in Hockenheim, but then, I don't know, it didn't go quite the way I wanted it. The speed was there most of the time, and then there was some bad luck. I made some mistakes, and it just didn't come together the way I wanted it.
Yeah, but it's been tough. This is the world's best Formula 3 championship, isn't it now? I mean, this is the one that everyone's watching.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose everybody, people in the British Championship, I think still believe. I mean, I'm British, so I speak to a few of the guys, and I think they still believe, the British Championship's really strong. But everyone's got their own opinion. I mean, I'm happy I made the move from the British Championship to this one. I think, it's very professional and it's good experience. I think it's a step forward for me to come here from Britain. So, I believe it's the strongest one, but everyone has their opinion.
Yeah, and you both guys come from karting. I spotted Nico in long time ago in North America. You were driving in Charlotte on that track. You remember? As a young boy, you were winning and going well. You spent your whole life in karting, your young days.
Yeah, I started at the age of 10, and I was
very successful.
Yeah, I was really successful in karting, and it was a lot of fun. But karting was so difficult. You had to have luck, the right equipment, everything. It all had to fit together to win there. It was amazing, the competition.
Yeah, and for you it's the same?
Yeah, I didn't start in karting actually. I started at the same age as Nico, 10 years old, but most people started in cadet karting in England when they were 8. You can actually race when you're 8, but I started when I was 10 because my father used to race stock cars, so that was the family background,
Stock car racing?
Stock cars, yeah.
Is that on ovals?
Yeah, on tarmac and dirt ovals, yeah. So I did that for 2 years. Won the British Championship, and then we decided needed to progress and move on, so we went into karting in England.
So a career in IRL racing is also something for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to oval tracks and stuff, and also that formula was contact, so you could push people out of the way and not get told off.
But you are not so rough anymore, eh?
No, I'm sensible and old now, so it doesn't suit me.
We have some pictures of today's racing from Hockenheim.
Okay.
We had a funny qualifying this morning.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through, Nico, what happened this morning?
Yeah, well, it was wet, the track, and it was drying out, so it was a really difficult qualifying because, first of all, you didn't know which was best, slick tires or wet weather tires, and then eventually it was just the last lap that counted as the track is drying out, and it was the one who got the last lap best who was on pole then, so...
You were on the grid here, what position at the end?
I started 10th.
Oh, and you and Jamie?
17th, so even worse. Yeah, that's the worst.
What happened in the last lap then?
I tried to overtake Bruno Spengler after 2 corners, and he pushed me off the track on the exit, so it could have been quite good, but actually it ended up really bad. So I actually did my best lap on the last lap, which is unbelievable considering 2 people overtook me and I went off the track, so could have been much better.
Now the other big battle this year, not just between you drivers, it's the engine battle. Opel, Nico, you're Opel, and Mercedes, you're in Mercedes. Is there any difference really between the engines have you found during the year?
I think they're about the same.
Yeah, I think they're all doing a good job, to be honest. I think with the air restriction, it's really hard to, to find a big advantage over one engine from the other. I think maybe now they're concentrating more on the weight of the engine and to keep the low centre of gravity rather than find more power, because there's nothing you can really find with this air intake. So I think Opel is a very good engine, and so is Mercedes, and they gave me an engine good enough to win the championship. So I would also say, Honda's somewhere near, but there's no real good teams in this championship with the Honda engine.
And the other thing that's been a constant, of course, is the tyres, Kumho tyres, but not always exactly the same from race to race, huh?
I don't know. I've never experienced any inconsistency in the tyres. I think they've done it's a good tyre. The only thing I would say, it's quite easy to flat spot the tyre, and if you flat spot the tyre, it can be like one set is just wasted, and I've done that. I did that this weekend actually. So that's one thing I don't like about this tyre, but it's quite sensitive to flat spots. But otherwise, it's good.
What about Hockenheim? You love it here? You hate it?
No, I like this track a lot. It's a really nice track. I have a lot of nice moments on this track here.
It's a big audience as well, eh?
Yeah,
already today.
Tomorrow it's going to be amazing.
Do you feel the atmosphere here when you come into the motordrome?
No,
Not really?
after the race probably, yeah, because you start having a look about a little bit on your in-lap. So,
But there are a lot of fans for you already, eh, Nico? In Germany.
It's quite.
Is that
quite nice.
because your father is famous, or you're already more famous than your father at the moment?
Well, I think obviously because my father is very well known here. Secondly, because I'm more or less the only German up there.
Yeah.
And thirdly, because I'm having good success in Formula 3.
What's the next step, guys? The new G2,
Good question.
Formula 1? You all want to be in Formula 1,
yeah,
of course.
Everybody does, I think, at this level. But I think it's not that clear because GP2 will take over from Formula 3000 next year. So that's a bit of an unknown quantity at the moment. The car hasn't been ran properly. No one knows how quick it is, how expensive it will be, which teams will take part. So that's a bit difficult to judge.
Expensive?
Yeah, I think from what I can gather, it will be quite more expensive than 3000. So that's another worry, I guess, because finding the budget's hard. But I don't know about the next step. We have to see.
Is that your teammate, Nico?
Yeah, that was my teammate spinning.
It happens.
And what happened to you? You spin later, a little bit.
No, it was right at the start, second corner. I had a good start. I just kept my position at the start, and then going into the second corner, I decided to take the outside line because there was a bit of confusion in front. And the guy just inside just went flying straight on, and I was there on the outside, so just really couldn't do anything about it.
Now we see this battle between Neuhauser and the French guy, Lapierre. It's amazing, this guy Neuhausen is in the front. What do you think?
I don't know who he is.
You've never
No, never heard of him. I think obviously did a good job this morning on the changeable track, and more surprising is the fact that he is battling here with Lapierre, and I think he led for most of the race, which I didn't realise. So he's came from nowhere, so impressive.
And another big surprise tomorrow, Adrian Sutil on pole position for race 2. Another guy who's come from nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shame because it makes everyone think that my car's better than everybody else's, but he did a good job, so fair play to him. I've had a difficult weekend, so I think it's more a case of me being off the ball rather than him being particularly on the ball at the moment, but
Where do you find the little
happens.
differences in Formula 3 cars? What's the secret?
I believe optimizing the setup for the conditions of the day is the biggest thing, because you can have the same setup on the car and go to the track one day later and the balance be completely different. And that's the hard thing about F3, is to have the optimum setup for that day, because you cannot say this is a setup for Hockenheim because we won here last time or whatever. It doesn't work like that. So that's the hard thing about F3 for me. It's very, very a knife edge on setup.
And is it all? Yeah, Mark.
The thing is also that
Nico. Yeah.
you every day you run on different rubber. It also depends on what category runs before you. Sometimes it's DTM, sometimes it's the Porsche, sometimes it's BMWs. So it really depends on that. Also, I think that there's just different rubber every day, and so it's really difficult to know what you have to do with the car.
Yeah, and you could spot that difference in the Marlboro Masters in Zandvoort, and a couple of weeks later the Euro race there.
Yeah.
It was a complete different situation for
Yeah.
all the teams. And so what happened to you in Zandvoort? It was scary, Nico?
Yeah, at the Zandvoort race, I lost my brakes, so I just went straight on into the tires, and
In Tarzan Corner, what speed did you do there?
I don't know, but I was flat out, so it was pretty fast. And no, but I was fine afterwards. I just was a bit knocked out, so I had to recover from that a little bit, and that's it. My legs were hurting a bit, but I had nothing else.
The Marlboro Masters, how did it go?
Not good at all, actually. Main thing in that track at Zandvoort, it's very hard to pass in a Formula 3 car. So if you qualify at the front, then you have a good chance for the race. But I didn't qualify near the front, so the race didn't go well for me. I actually finished 9th because I went off when I was running 7th behind Nico. So yeah, a difficult race, but we came back and did a good job at the Euro Series.
Yeah, but in race 1 you had a slight problem there.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in the race, so I didn't have a bad one. But
what happened there? It was a funny situation in practice.
Yeah, in qualifying, I held up one guy, and it was on the screens everywhere. So the steward of the meeting saw that and said it was not fair, so he excluded me from the starting the race.
I think you had a bit of an issue with the stewards today as well. I understand.
Yeah, I'm getting very friendly with them.
Something to do with throwing a mirror out of the car.
That's right. Yeah.
What happened there?
The wing mirror bracket broke, came into the monocoque, into the tub, in my cockpit. So I had to get it out. So I threw it off the track. And there was some confusion because there was another wing mirror which had broken, which was on the middle of the circuit in the first corner, and they thought I'd thrown the mirror into the middle of the track, which is stupid. I would never do that. I threw it off the circuit on the outside. So for me, that was the safest thing to do at that moment. Instead of drive around with the mirror inside the car, anything could have happened. So, but once they understood that it wasn't my mirror in the middle of the track, they didn't give me a penalty.
You're able to convince
It's
them.
quite an adventure, this Formula 3 racing.
All happened. Nico, you had a good win at Nürburgring, of course, this year. We mustn't overlook that. That was a very good day for you.
Yeah, I had a couple of good ones actually. I must say, several this year. And Nürburgring was one of the good weekends for me, and I won there, and
quite good.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have a little break, guys.
Okay.
See you back after the break. Yeah. So, welcome back in Hockenheim. Nico Rosberg, Jamie Green, Mark Cole and me, Bert Davies, still on the table here. It's quite a great atmosphere here, guys. Yeah. Nice weather. Was a bit raining yesterday morning, and now we see all these German race fans. Thousands are expected.
Yep.
How about the German race fans for you? Because you are always in the support race of DTM.
Yeah,
Difference in England?
Yeah, big difference in this championship especially the German ones. Here Nürburgring, so many fans. So it's a great atmosphere, but also a bit of hassle for us because they want your autograph every minute, and you can't go anywhere in the paddock without somebody asking you to sign something. So
same for you, Nico?
Yeah, very similar. Yeah, but no, your secret ways through the paddock, and it's fine.
To come here to the table.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about your teams. Nico, you first. It's Team Rosberg. It's not only Formula 3. You also have a BMW team. How was the team set up?
Yeah, not only that, my father owns it. Well, is not the owner of the team, but he has given the name to the team, and they also have a DTM team for Mercedes. So there's 3 racing categories. So it's quite a big thing, and it's situated here in Neustadt, and that's it.
Yeah, and how about sponsors? Who's responsible for finding sponsorship for your team?
Well, it's my dad primarily for me, and my main sponsors are Dominator and Novari Arts, so they've helped me a lot this year.
It's nice boats, big boats, eh?
Yeah.
Have you got one?
Have you been on them?
No. Yeah, I've been on one. Yeah.
They gave you one when you win the championship.
No.
How do they use their sponsorship with you? Do they bring guests to the track? And
yeah, they bring guests to the track, and they use us. Like for example, very interestingly, there was a boat magazine, and they used us to advertise their boats. They had the boat and then the racing car.
Great.
And obviously it just jumps out, There's loads of advertisements for boats in the magazine, and if the reader comes across a boat and a racing car, really cool-looking racing car, it'll jump out for the reader, So they use that in an interesting way there, for example.
Does this mean you have to do a lot of PR work for all your sponsors?
Yeah, I do relatively much, but not that much actually.
Yeah, it's not full time then, or
no.
You have another job?
No, not really actually, but. You do a lot of training, obviously, and there's a lot of other things that you have to do day by day. How's your day looking? Where do you live? I live in Monaco most of the time, but I'm not there too often anyway.
Go to the gym in...
Yeah, I go to the gym and then go to the office and, to my dad's office and just see what's there, interviews or whatever, and trying to find new sponsors for the next year or whatever.
Now, Jamie, your situation's slightly different because you're driving for a French team. You're there as almost a guest driver, as it were. English guy in a French team in a German-based series. And how does that work?
It works fine, to be honest. I think we're in a European culture, so it doesn't really matter if they're French, German, whatever, British. So yeah, I've got a contract with Mercedes, and so they put me with the French ASM team. I've lived there most of the year. I have a flat there, an apartment, so I go and spend time there when it's necessary between races to look at the data and have a good relationship with the team and try and optimize the car. And yeah, like Nico says, we all have to train and keep ourselves in good shape. But I've had a lot of help in my career, especially in car racing, from a guy called Trevor Foster, who took me on from karting and has guided my career and got the correct deals for me and with the good teams, and there's a company called PKD Racing which has found the funding for my career. So these are the key people really that have supported me and got me away from karting into this level of motor racing.
Now a lot of German Formula 3 champions, they come into DTM. Is that your future? Yeah.
It's a possibility, but I don't know at the moment, to be honest, what my future will be. But obviously I'm with Mercedes and they run a team in DTM, so it's possible. But my ultimate aim is to move into Formula 1, so I don't want to lose sight of that and go into the saloon car racing and not be able to come back. But at the moment it's not clear what my options are, so we have to see what the options are and then make the choice in the winter.
You come under the aegis of Norbert Haug, I guess. You have meetings with him from time to time?
Yeah, obviously I've only been with Mercedes for 1 year, so I don't know the people that well, but obviously winning the championship you catch their attention and you speak with them a little bit. So at the end of the day it's the job you do on the track which is important, not whether you're friends with them or not friends. So hopefully the driving does the talking.
But you must have been impressed by Gary Paffett, for instance, the way he's been doing in DTM. And
yeah, I'm not that surprised because I've seen Gary drive for quite a few years. I'm sure Nico has as well because he raced for his team in Formula 3. So yeah, he's a very good driver, and I saw him in karting. I've always rated him as a talented guy with his feet on the ground, so and I respect Gary.
Yeah, who's your role model in today racing?
Well, there's many, more or less, but no, obviously Gary is one of them because I know him from Formula 3. I was there with him because I was doing BMW for the same team, and so I watched what he was doing and everything, and he really did a very good job in Formula 3. And so then obviously as I'm in Formula 3 now, more or less, you do see him as a little bit of a role model sometimes, and otherwise you would look onto people like in Formula 1, like Michael Schumacher, because obviously he's just done what you need to do.
Can you beat Michael Schumacher in a few years?
That's difficult to say, but yeah, I would think so, because by the time I get there, he's going to be so old that I think
That's
I'll
a good
probably
one.
be able to beat
And
him.
for you, Jamie?
Yeah, same. What do you mean about idols, or can I beat him? Both. No, yeah, I would say Schumacher's probably one of my idols.
Yeah.
Because he's just the best and most consistent and very impressive. But yeah, that's it really.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just seeing pictures at the moment. You've got rescue vehicles on the track. You're in the middle of racing. You're going flat out. You suddenly have yellows. You see vehicles on the track. What's your first instinct, Jamie?
First instinct is there anything in the middle of the track which can be a problem? If it's not, then you try to not back off because it's a yellow flag and politically you have to back off. And Alex Premack got in trouble for that at Pau this year for not slowing down on the yellow flag. But in all reality, the less you can slow down, the more advantage you can gain on the other guys. So you have to take the first note is how safe is the situation, and the second one is to keep as much speed as you dare. For that instance.
Yeah, that was a huge penalty for Alex, wasn't it? He had both races cancelled, as it were, and well, that was meant to be a shock for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, I think the main reason was because there was a marshal involved. So the guy was a bit injured, so all of a sudden they came down pretty hard on him.
Now we see the end of the race, and something funny happens. Very good for Lapierre. Suddenly passing this Neuhausen, and Hannes is seen, so as you see that in Holland. What happened there? What do you guess? The tires were off?
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I was a bit out of view of this. But I think he passed him on the last lap. They said.
It's the last lap.
Okay.
No, this is lap 16.
16.
Yeah,
18,
one more to go.
Oh, sorry, my eyes are not that good anymore. But anyway, he passed him in the last lap. Is that what the Kumho tires? If you're not experienced in driving in the front of the race,
I think.
And this kind of Neuhausen.
I would assume that his problem was because it's his best grid position, and we didn't use a third set of new tyres in second qualifying. I think he would have used brand new tyres for this race.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah,
and therefore he was quick in the beginning because he had a tyre advantage. I don't know if Lapierre used new, but
he did too.
Oh, okay.
because I was on pole.
How does that
Yeah.
work, guys, for the people who don't understand, the audience, the tire rule in F3?
You have 3 sets of new tyres for the weekend, and because our second qualifying session was wet, we didn't use the dry tyres, so everybody has 1 set of new tyres, and you have to decide which race you want to use them in. And Nico said both these guys use new, so that's why they probably went away from everybody.
And we still have our new tires for tomorrow, since we have our better starting position tomorrow. So,
So,
for example, Lapierre, who's starting in front of us, he's going to be unused, so it's going to be good for us.
there's going to be some firework here in the Motodrome.
Oh, for sure.
Hopefully.
They expect about 100,000 people here tomorrow.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They said the biggest crowd ever maybe at Hockenheim for DTM.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It's going to be mad.
and you guys are performing in front of them. What about tomorrow? How do you feel, Jamie, about tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. Starting from 6, this track you can overtake with a long straight. This is
Yeah, but that was pretty easily done.
Yeah, too easy, looks to me.
He should pass him back now if he has the slipstream.
The team
Yeah.
is already happy.
He does. He gets alongside.
Yeah.
Wow, he's flying by.
Yeah.
He should be able to re-tow him now with Lapierre. Yeah. 2 passes in 1 straight.
This is really good stuff. This is what Formula 3 is all about.
Yeah, yeah.
How is the view there from the race car? People have no idea watching television. It's very low.
Yeah,
How
it's
is this
something you
corner,
get
this
used to.
Spitskeren?
It feels quick because you're low down, but it's something you become used to, and yeah, it's normal, really.
But the vision on the track, I mean the break point for this Spitskeren. It's funny, it's a bit going up.
Yeah, I suppose visibility isn't great, but you kind of sense where the braking points are and use the bumps and lines. So it's the
That
same
was
for
strange, though, that he let him by like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He didn't even try.
Yeah.
You would never do that, eh?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he didn't see him or something. It can happen to everybody, but
everyone. Maybe he's just happy to finish second.
yeah, but still, if you're in first like that,
Yeah.
it's not every day that you're in first like that, I think.
Yeah. And in a moment, Jamie, I think we're going to see something of you and your teammates. So
Great.
keep watching the
Looking
screen.
forward to that,
Yes. So there we are. Lapierre takes the win, and Hannes Neuhaus, like he won the race afterwards. He was so excited, so
Yeah,
thrilled.
he wanted to finish second.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, but yeah.
But the HBR team also were very happy. I mean, it's a great result for them. It's Austrian team. Now then, they just show us a moment of flashback. We're going to see you and Alex. What happened to you?
Yeah, is that so?
Yeah, it comes. All happened after the
Yeah,
race.
but you guys are used of winning races. You're common to it. These guys, is Neuhaus, is out of the world. you know.
Yeah, I suppose it's completely different for him. It's his moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't
We're not
see
going to
it.
see it then.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So Nico, tomorrow you starting where tomorrow?
Fourth.
You're fourth, and
Yeah.
and Jamie,
6th.
you're sixth. So you're close together, and
Yeah. But he won't see much of me tomorrow. I'll be...
you'll be gone.
You'll be gone.
He's off at the first
Promise
corner.
we follow you in Raceworld. And Jamie, all the best. We see you guys
Thanks.
back in a big career of motor racing. I think you're the top, the best guys.
I hope so.
The young wolves, they call them in Holland.
Thank you for being with us. It's
Thank you.
really
Thank
good,
you.
guys. Good luck.
And we make an end of the show because Hockenheim still good to us. The weather is good. Thank you guys for coming.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.